In the video you've been commenting on, I took this from the torch. This is the actual connector from the torch right there. And I took and hooked up the multimeter to each of these probes. I hooked up the hot side and the ground side to one of the probes and then pulled the trigger on the torch to see which ones are for the trigger. And then I followed where these pins go to the inside of the machine, followed them in, and then used a splice connector because there's a wire for these same little probes right here. There's a wire on the inside, and I used these splice connectors here. They bend and you put the wires in so you can connect the wire. And I got these from Home Depot, splice tap connectors. So once I connected those to the wires on the inside for the torch trigger, I ran those over to the box over here. So you can see the breakout board right here, and these are the two for the torch. So when you want the torch to turn on, this relay turns on, connecting the ground just like pulling the trigger would. I have the torch height controller with the step and direction inputs and outputs, and this is the one I really recommend. I got the other one, which was wrong. This one is much easier. So let me go over the wiring here. And everything in that video that we've been commenting on, it basically has what I'm explaining here. So these are the wires. This is the torch height controller negative, torch height controller positive. So I follow this. This one goes to the negative side, which is the torch. So this is the torch here, and you can follow that to the inside. And in this video, in the video we've been commenting on, you can see a wire coming off of this. Just a smaller wire, same gauge about this. This is like 18 gauge, maybe 16. And you can see that same wire. I spliced into that wire. And then for this one, the torch height controller positive, which is this right here, which is where the ground clamp is, right there. So this is the positive side where the ground clamp is, and there is also another small wire there that I spliced into for the torch height controller negative here. For the power right here, it says 7 to 35 volts. Well, I'm running this off 5 volts, and that's straight off the breakout board. So those two wires that you see, the positive and negative for 7 to 35 volts, it is over here, and they hook up right here. There are these two wires. So you can see PC ground, PC5. So that's where they hook up to. So the step and direction inputs right here, they're coming straight from the breakout board, just the inside, the input side. So those wires that have the step and direction input come from right here, and that's the Z-axis right here. These two, step and direction. And then those run over to here to the inputs, and then these outputs, they run back into the stepper motor driver right here. So they are sending the signal. So it's exactly like the breakout board can send a signal to the torch height controller and back through, so it can still work the Z-axis with the computer. Plus, the torch height controller, since it's already going through the torch height controller, then it can also send a signal through the Z-axis so it can automatically correct the torch. And that's how it works. So I hope that makes a little bit more sense. Like I said, mine looks like it's a cobweb bird's nest, so it's nothing special, but it does work, so that's all that matters to me. But yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know.